Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take your top stories in crypto and bring it on a bite-sized piece. So today we're just going to do a quick little live impromptu session just to talk about what's going on with Cardano and how the price is doing so well. So first we'll take a look at what's going on with the market. Then we'll take a look at, of course, why Cardano is on the rise. I think most people know what's going on, but there's some things that you have to be aware of. And there's actually some concerns which were put out by IOHK, as well as the Cardano DEX themselves. And we'll go over all those things in just a bit. Also, we'll take a look at the actual different pools that you can stake to for said rewards. Hint, mine is not one of them, so you're gonna have to leave my pool for a bit. Lastly, we'll take a look at those DEX concerns. And finally, we'll take a look at some boomers that are on board for Bitcoin, because I know people don't really care so much about the boomers in general in some way, shape, or form, but they should. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. I'm going to show you why a big boomer is on board for crypto who used to be a real Bitcoin hater. So we'll go over all those things. But first, let's ask the question of, can everybody hear me and how is the audio? Because it's kind of important that I actually test these things before I just start talking for like the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. And that will be not good. So first, real quick, can everybody hear me? And how is the video quality? Beautiful day here in Puerto Rico. And I think we're going to have hopefully a pretty good week. I just am concerned about some information that was put out by the actual DEX itself. Okay, great. All good. Let's get going. Let's jump into this. So first of all, let's take a look at what is going on into said market. So today it is, gosh, what is it? 17th? Wow. 17th January. And we got a little bit of a slippage as far as the market cap goes. We're around 2.1, hovering around 2.2. And if we take a look at what the, as far as price action goes, everything's down. Everything's down except for this little gem called Cardano. And we're up 8.6%. in the last 24 hours and 31% in 7 days. Can this continue? I'm not so sure. Solana down 5%, 7 days, 1.5. XRP down about 2%. Everything's down in the last 24 hours. 7 days is pretty good. 18% for Cosmos in 7 days. 41% for Near, but down 5%. 16%. Wow, Litecoin is up. That's crazy. You don't see that too often. 2% up for Tron. Wacky day in crypto land. 4.6% for Monero. That's great. 1.7 and so on and so forth. And 9.2% for Aave. Very nice Aave holders. So that is the market in a nutshell. Let's get to today's top story. We're going to talk about why Cardano is on the rise. Before I get into that, there was this really great graphic shared, which talks about, let me see if I can blow this up in the correct way, which talks about transaction fees, and all the different transactions as far as on-chain activity going on right now. If we can take a look, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and so on and so forth. And if you see right here in the very middle here, it says transaction volume, 24 in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin has got about $15 billion worth of transaction. It's pretty good. And then Ethereum's got around 5.5, and Cardano's at 5.3. So that's a pretty high transaction volume. And then there's an adjustment right over here, active addresses and so on and so forth. But here's the big thing that I want you to pay attention to. The fees in the last 24 hours. It took, so roughly the two transaction volumes for Ethereum and Cardano are roughly the same. I think we can all agree on that. 5.59 and 5.3. Adjusted transaction value, 4.26, 4.12. And the fees, $43 million for those fees in Ethereum. Wow, that's a lot of gas. But $75,000 for Cardano. That is, I think, a big telling tale of where things are going. Now, ETH fans, I own ETH. I own Cardano. I own Solana. I own Avalanche. I own Near protocol now. I own Tezos. I own a bunch of different things, a lot of stuff. So I understand, like, everybody has their idea as far as like where things are going and what's happening. But this is on the horizon and this is happening. This is what's going on. Sure, it's all happening, right? But we're not at those final levels yet. So just be aware of that is what is going on. We're all really in a bunch of price discovery, and everybody's trying to get their best foot forward to get things to market, which is great. So it's just interesting to note that Ethereum is so crazy expensive, which we all knew. So if we take a look, coming back here, why is everything going up? Well, I think everybody knows this by now, but Sunday Swap is happening. Sunday Swap is the decentralized exchange that they've been working pretty diligently with IOHK. And here's what's happening. This was written on January 15th. And we're going to talk about what's going on, how you can participate, liquidity providing, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about the scoopers, or the different stake pools that you can stake and actually earn rewards, and which ones I know about. Not that I recommend, but know about. Also going to talk about how to yield. And then we're going to talk about some negativity, which was not negativity, but some concerns that were put out by the Sunday Swap team themselves. So first of all, what's happening here? Well, key dates. Today is, I said it was the 16th, right? 16th, 17th. Damn, 17th. So today's the 17th, Monday. On Thursday, January 20th, Sunday Swap will launch as a fully functional beta decentralized exchange. They've already gone through the whole setup, and they did a lot of different interaction. They figured out some things. They figured out some things that they're going to have some issues when things start up. And they put their best foot forward, and they try to change these things. I think it's going to go pretty well, but there's going to be bumps along the way. And the big question is, because of the price that is going up, is this because of the DEX that is happening? What's going to happen when the DEX launches? Well, if you can think back to when everything was going on with smart contracts for Cardano, you'll kind of see the same type of pattern. And it's up to you to determine if this is a buy the news, sell the rumor, or buy the rumor, sell the news type of situation, or if this is a long-term play. It's up to you, not up to me. This is investment opinion, not investment advice. So on Tuesday, January 25th, the first round of the ISO, or initial stake pool offering rewards, will be calculated. The participants, that's the people like you and me who are going to delegate to these pools, must delegate ADA to qualifying ISO scoopers prior to January 25th, or 2145 UTC. Someone do the conversion for me on January 25th. So between that time, between January 25th and now, you have to pick a pool if you want to do these things with your Cardano. You don't have to, but if you'd like to get a little bit of Sunday Swap tokens, probably behoove you to do those things. And then also, you're going to get both. You're going to get ADA and Sunday Swap. You'll be able to earn Sunday for all 5 ISO rounds. And we'll talk about that in a bit. So January 20th, yield farming Sunday rewards begin. That's a different thing, yield farming. Yield farming will be available for at least the first 6 months of the Sunday Swap DEX. And during this period, liquidity provider tokens staked to yield farming contracts and eligible pools can earn additional Sunday rewards. We'll go over that in a bit. Okay, so how do you get Sunday? Initially, there'll be 3 ways to acquire Sunday. You got to participate in the ISO, available during Epics 316 and through 320. So roughly you're looking at around 25 days. Yield farming rewards, January through June, and swap other tokens for Sunday on Sunday Swap, if you want to do that type of thing. When the ISO will begin on Thursday, and will continue for 5 epics. I know some people say, but Rob, it's pronounced epochs or epochs, but it's epics, and that's how they pronounce it. And that's just, that's what Charles Hoskin calls it, so we're just going to go with epic, right? Round 1 through 5, you got January 25th, 30th, 4th, 9th, and 14th. Again, every epic is 5 days. Let me do some quick math. 5 times 5, 25. Okay, so 25 days we're going on. So before I go into the yield farming thing, here's the big important situation. You're probably asking yourself, well, Rob, which ones are the pools that I can stake to? Because I'd like to earn a little bit of Sunday token on top of the card ADA token. Well, here's what you got. And this is done by a big voting process. This was a couple of months ago. And here is the 30 that made the cut. I don't know most of these guys. I don't know Wave 7, Sky. I have no idea. SIPOXH. I don't know those guys. I know CCV, Crypto Capital Ventures. He's been on the show. He's got his own YouTube channel, and it seems like he's doing pretty good. He's got a lot of pools, like 4, I think, like that. ITC, that's Ben over that's into the Cryptoverse, and you got Paul. And Paul's got his own YouTube channel, Cardano with Paul. Those are the ones that I know. Seem to be working out pretty well. And those are the top 30. So as you may know, you do not see D news in here. So, well, I did get a participation trophy, which is the SPO wait list. And so everybody voted for, I mean, we had a lot of votes, but those votes didn't really count too much because it was the weight of the Cardano behind each vote. How many, if a voter had like 1 million ADA, it was like far outweighed a person who just with 1 ADA. So me and Ape, we're down here with our participation trophy, which is not bad. I mean, hey, we made the top 40, so that's what's going on. So let me make this very clear. I put out a tweet last night. I said the DNews stake pool is not one of the 30 pools for the Sunday swap. If you want Sunday and ADA rewards, and you need to leave my pool by January 25th and redelegate to one of these pools. And then I linked to there. And I just talked about how, you got Ben, Paul, and Dan, and that's what's going on. So that's essentially it in a nutshell of what is happening. So I know this isn't probably great for my pool. I mean, I'll lose some people. I did the same thing for Meld when Meld was going on, and I lost I want to say 10 million different delegates, but it's what's best for the community, right? So you can't do squat in my pool. I mean, you can get some pretty great rewards, just like a lot of different people. And of course, we donate a large portion to Kiva, but you can't get any Sunday swap. I don't know. I can't make it much more clear. So you're gonna have to leave the pool and go to these guys. Take it for what it's worth. And that's what's going on. Then, before I forget, let's go back to the article to right here. Aha. So yield farming. So of course you can buy Sunday swap token on other DEXs. You can be a part of the ISO or ISPO, initial stake pool offering, initial stake offering, what do you want to call it? Or you can yield farm. So there'll be 5. This is the crazy part. Yield farming is a form of staking used by DEXs to reduce the volatility. We know that. 500,000 Sunday token will be allocated daily over at least the first 6 months of the DEX's operation. So I'm going to guess that they got a lot of coins coming out to yield farmers participating in the following liquidity pools. So if you want to be a part of these liquidity pools, you have to offer both Sunday ADA liquid is LQ ADA, World Mobile Token, hey, ADA, and then cards, ADA. And cards is that launch pad. So that's how these things are done. And I think I pulled up, yeah, let me make sure. I linked this in the description. How will yield farming work on Sunday swap? Because every place is a little bit different. Just so you know, liquidity providers receive liquidity provider or LP tokens in exchange for depositing a pair assets into a pool. The LP tokens received are for qualified pools. See here, which is the one that we had, Sunday ADA, LQ ADA, blah, 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 all that stuff. Those are the ones that are verified or ones that they want to go through. Are qualified pools. Liquidity providers will be able to stake their LP tokens into the yield farming contract and obtain additional yield on top of the fees they accrue. Yield farming contracts will be set for 30-day terms. Terms will roll over automatically. You don't need to withdraw and then restake. You just kind of leave in there and let the good times roll. At the end of each yield contract term, 30-day yield period, users may withdraw their initial LP tokens as well as any LP tokens earned as yield from qualified pools. The Sunday Swap DAO will swap these additional yield-generated liquidity tokens for Sunday. So there's a bunch of different ways to earn some yield. Those are the 3, right? Or the 2, actually, ISO and then yield farming. So again, I link those in the description so you can find those and read up on it. But the easiest way is probably just to stake that way. So that takes us through the ISP pools for rewards and what's going on, and then yield farming. Now I want to get into some concerns. And these are the Cardano DEX concerns. These weren't concerns that I came up with. These were concerns that the actual DEX came up with themselves. And you have to understand, when people are saying like, Rob, don't spread FUD. Don't spread FUD. 330 DAO, it's just awful. This isn't from me. This is from the actual decentralized exchange. They're like, look, we need to deal in reality. And here's the reality of what's going to happen with this DEX. So this is important to kind of figure this part out. So here's what we got. So this was a great article written by Sunday Swap on January 7th. They said, as we approach Sunday Swap's mainnet launch, the team at Sunday Swap believes it's important to educate our community on some of the expected operational constraints and limitations that the blockchain and the DEX will exhibit on opening day. I think that's a big important thing to remember here. Opening day and through the first few weeks. The Cardano blockchain was designed for global reach and penetration, achieving consensus on transactions across the world in seconds. And that's why I'm a big believer. I love Cardano, I like it. I really love the things that are being built on there. World Mobile Token, MELD being two of the many. And I think it's really building out quite nicely, especially World Mobile Token. I mean, imagine being able to connect all the different people across the globe with telecommunications built on the Cardano blockchain. You can't beat that. Anyhow, off my soapbox. Cardano has always operated by measuring twice, cutting once. This meant resulted in initial parameters of the blockchain being set conservatively. During our testnet event, this is important, the team noticed a large backlog in processing user action. This was more due to the current maximum throughput parameters of the Cardano blockchain. While this is likely to negatively impact the user experience, the congestion is a sign of the Cardano network operating as intended by gradually applying back pressure. So really what they're saying here is this. They're like, look, we're going to have problems. We're going to see these issues. It really is with Cardano as they start to figure things out. And as we start to get more load, then they start to limit or delimit these types of congestion issues so they can actually do the things that we want them to do, which is scale and move faster and all that great stuff, right? But there's a process, and it's frustrating for me too. But look, I mean, how many different products do we know out there that just say, hey, we got this wacky project, let's see if it works out. And then, of course, the developers make these projects, and it gets out there, and they're like, whoops, broke, and everybody loses their money. Who lost their money? Wasn't the developers. It was people like you and me who are like, everybody's like, maybe this will actually work out, and it doesn't work out. And so just remember those things that sometimes it's better just to go a little bit safety and just kind of pull back. Now, would we like it to go faster? Of course we would. Is it always available? No, it's not. So that's all we got for this piece. Let's move on to the other parts. Let me blow this up so even bigger so you can see it. That doesn't really help. I got an idea. Do that. Okay, that's a little better. All right. Okay, so during the testing phase, 40-minute load test, a single Sunday swap scooper performed 139 scoops. That was those 30 different stake pools. And this is approximately 3 scoops a minute. This is essentially transaction. That's lower than the roughly 7 scoops per minute we saw on the testnet. There are a few things that must be noted. These 4 things are big. There is a much lower barrier to entry compared to testnet. There's no need to interact with a faucet, switch your wallet to testnet, etc. Basically, when you did the testnet part, you had to switch your wallet to the testnet, and then you could actually interact with it and try to break it and all those things. But here, you just go to the DEX and just go. There is greater incentive to participate in the DEX to capitalize on its utility with real funds. Of course, we talked about that, the ISO and the farming. But there is greater risk of participation since users are exposed to losses of real funds through trading activity. Any DEX that you go on is risky. Just so you know, you can lose. And of course, there's going to be scammers out there, so be careful. Your investments if you're using it in an improper way. And then it could actually, and it's happened before. The Sunday Swap DEX must share network bandwidth with other launching protocols themselves, drawing additional network demand on Cardano. So, due to staggering levels of demand and excitement from our community, we expect a large backlog on mainnet. Even under our most optimistic predictions, to be as transparent as possible, we want to inform you all that while orders, including swapping, liquidity, withdrawing liquidity, may take days to process, everybody's orders will be processed fairly and in the order they were received. Let me say that one more time. Under the most optimistic predictions, we're going to see some problems. To be as transparent as possible, we want to inform you, this is from the team at Sunday Swap, that while orders, including swapping, providing liquidity, blah, blah, may take days to process, everybody's orders will be processed fairly. Although we expect this backlog during the first days of the protocol, we're very confident the protocol can meet the normal day-to-day load once things settle down, because there's going to be a huge amount of demand. People like me going there and playing around and screwing around and just trying to see what it actually works. So while this demand surge will result in network congestion, I think we hear that term a lot on a lot of different L1s, Solana being one of them. I know, just had to throw that in there. Eventually, the network will catch up. This will be further improved as IOG implements a planned series of improvements and enhancements to scale Cardano network capacity throughout 2022, which is increase in block size, Pluto script member units, and other optimizations such as a new version of the Cardano node, another new networking improvement known as pipelining. That'll be interesting. I don't know what that is. Sounds great. I don't know what it is, and then layer 2 solutions such as Hydra, which hopefully will lead us to 500,000 to 1 million transactions per second, which will allow large portions of the protocol trade volume to be executed faster and cheaper. So that was a very long-winded way to say that as things move forward and we get these advancements, just realize, and you're going to hear this from everybody, whether you're a huge Cardano fan, kind of a fan of Cardano, or you're indifferent, or you hate Cardano, you're still going to hear the same things, which is, okay, prices are going up, everybody's excited. Around Thursday, when things start happening, you're going to hear this like, whoa, there's congestion. What's going on? Oh, this doesn't work. This is a piece of junk. This will never happen. Then as things move forward, you're going to see the price. I'm not even going to even try to predict what's going to happen. With the price, I really don't care because in the long term, it doesn't matter. Price could do whatever it does. And then you're going to hear the same things, same stories come out about how, well, it's really slow and doesn't really work. But you have to understand they're just working these things through. Could it be the greatest thing of all time? Sure. Could it be faster? Yeah, maybe. And could everything actually just kind of get streamlined? It's up for them to say. There's a different way of making all these things. I am not a developer. I'm just happy that we're going in the right direction. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Let's move on to our last piece. Boomer is on board for Bitcoin. This, I think, everybody can rally around. First of all, that's Dave Ramsey. Never seen a show. He's it's like a financial guru guy, and just by looking at him, you can tell that probably a boomer, and he probably has a large scale of people that are also boomers. And why do I keep saying the word boomer? And it's because of this graph. And I know when people say like, well, Rob, all the money is coming down, whatever else. Sure. But baby boomers, depending on how you want to define those, are an older generation. And the percentage of U.S. household, I don't know how this works globally, but the U.S. household wealth by age of generations, meaning cohort, baby boomers have the most amount of cash and assets and funds. So when you got somebody like Dave Ramsey coming out and going, you know what? Hey, crypto's not so bad. It leads us to the same thing I was talking about with Walmart yesterday. People are like, I don't know about crypto. And I've heard it's for like illicit activities and all that nonsense that we always hear about it. But I trust Walmart because I shop there all the time. And if they're getting to crypto, then it shouldn't be so bad. Same thing with Dave Ramsey. Well, I don't know about this crypto because Silk Road and blah, blah, blah. But if Dave Ramsey said, shouldn't be too bad, maybe I should take a look at it. And again, let's make a big tent for everybody to come on in. So financial guru Dave Ramsey says crypto is fun. That's a stark contrast. And he was on Fox Business Today, and the host asked him, I know that you warned against crypto. You called it a get-rich-quick investment. Are you telling us that we don't have or should not have any exposure to crypto? He says, no. As long as the exposure is money you can afford to lose, whatever you want to do with that, which I thought wasn't the most exciting way to say it, but it gets better. He did caution this. We've got people mortgaging their homes. We've got people taking their retirement out of the 401k and dumping into crypto as if it is a proven process to build wealth. It's just not a proven process. I have to dispute him right there because a friend of the show, Diddy from the Bitcoin family, that's exactly what he did in early 2017. He sold his house, he sold his business, he sold his cars, and he put it all in the Bitcoin when it was $1,000. Worked out pretty well. Now, does that mean that you should take all your money out and sell your house and your family and kids and kidneys and just go, you know what, I'm going all in on tomato coin? No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it can actually happen. Is it proven? Well, it's happened before, depending on the right project that you get into. So to move on with this story, and we'll finish up. He says, I think it's kind of fun. I enjoy watching the whole thing and all that, but it's an anomaly on the side. It shouldn't be a big part of a personal financial plan to build wealth. It could be a small part for funsies. And this is the same thing that Ray Dalio went through. This is the same thing with like a lot of these different gurus went through. They would talk about bad about it, then they would do more research, And then, of course, you see everything around you going on like, wow, Nike's getting into it. Wow, Walmart's getting into it. Wow, you got the Bill Millers getting into it. And he's a legend. And then the Paul Tudor Jones. So maybe there's something to it. And then they do their research because they feel like it's okay. And all of a sudden, like, it's okay. So it's just a group think. And you can call them lemmings or whatever you want to call them. But really, we're all kind of subjugated to that. And that's just the problem. So I think, again, I think this is good for the space, and I'd like to see how it actually all works out. But that is the majority of what is going on right now. So look, I know that was that first part about Cardano. Some people are gonna love it, and some people are gonna hate it. And that's just how it is. But just remember that we really should be all cheerleading for each other, because it's really us against the world. Let's be honest. You know how many people want us to fail in crypto? Everybody. IMF probably does. I can guarantee that. The different traditional banks, maybe the ones that haven't gotten in. So really, when we take a look at these things, just have a little bit of compassion for other people. Hey, if you're making money, I'm happy for you. Good for you. And that's it for today. So look, I'm going to go over. We're going to do this little quick Q&A. I'm going to take 5 questions, and then so like we can actually keep this below 30 minutes, and then we'll go off from there. So let me bring up some comments and see what you got. Great. Jordan Ross says it perfect. Tomato coin. Proof of sauce. What else we got? Let's make tomato coin the Cardano. Sure, I can deal with that. Let's see. Selling some of Cardano, maybe buying Puerto Rico. Great. Look, I'm going to do an updated video on Puerto Rico. I want to share with you guys some a couple of new real estate agents. Definitely a new lawyer. If you're looking at the Act 60, because the one that I use is like super overpriced. I found a great guy. His name's Jaime, and he is great, and he can do it for very inexpensive, and then just talk about some things. I'd like to, what I'd like to bring on is some people who live here right now. We'll see how it works out. Maybe Crypto Crow has got time. He did a great video. He did a great video and pretty much laid it all out about people are great, potholes suck, and some other stuff. It's pretty funny. Let's see what else. 80 can hit $3 easy. John, that was one of my few price predictions I got right. I said it was going to $3 and it did. But I really bombed on the Bitcoin Ethereum one though. I think we know that. Like with everything, we should have patience. Yeah. Like Axel Rose says. Better have millions you want to invest in real estate there. It's pricey, but I got an idea of how to get investing into crypto here. I have nothing to sell you, but it's going to be a DAO. IOHK is not American. Why do you keep mentioning SEC? I don't mention SEC. But if you're selling to American clients, and even Charles Hoskinson has made a suggestion about this, you have to be aware of what's going on. So it doesn't matter if you're in Australia or if you're in Uruguay. If you're selling to American consumers, you have to be worried about the SEC. That's how it goes. Yes, I will. Gary's watching. Gary watches the show. I don't know if you guys knew that. Gary is, I think he's now a member, Digital Asset News. I'm not for sure, but I need to bill him for that. The blockchain is at 97% low. I don't know which blockchain. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it. Okay, how about this one? This will be... Yeah. Okay, what if all people who hold ADA from $1.50 to $2 sold on Thursday for cash? Well, then the price would go down. What does that mean if the price goes down? You get to get it for cheap. So it's all how you want to look at it. And that's it. So look, great. Not too many questions today. I got a lot of things going on here, fix up the house and stuff like that. So if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing. A lot of things to talk about are time sensitive. And that is it for today. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming by. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. Y adios.